Okay, so if you ever had to slog through Virgil's Aeneid in school, you probably remember it as this long, kind of dusty poem about the founding of Rome. But what if I told you it's so much more than that? That it's not just an epic story, but a kind of spiritual blueprint that literally shaped the soul of the Western world? Yeah, let's get into it. Because that's really the big question here, isn't it? Was the Aeneid just a brilliant piece of political propaganda for a brand new empire? Or did Virgil hide something deeper inside, a kind of secret map of the soul, a spiritual guide drawn from the ancient mystery traditions? Well, the answer, as we're about to see, is a powerful and pretty amazing both. So, to really get the Aeneid, you have to understand why it was written. See, this wasn't just some poet having a flash of inspiration. This was a deliberate act of nation building. We're talking around 20 BC, and the first Roman emperor, Augustus, personally asked Virgil to write it. He needed a grand, unifying origin story to, well, stitch his fractured world back together. And that world was desperate for some healing. I mean, just imagine it. Rome had just been through almost 100 years of nonstop bloody civil war. The old republic was gone. The entire society was just exhausted, sick of the chaos. People were hungry, not just for political stability, but for a real sense of purpose. They were trying to find some kind of meaning in all the wreckage. And this is where Virgil's true genius shines. He knew he had to feed two kinds of hunger at the same time: the political need for a unified Rome and the deep, personal, spiritual hunger of its people. So what did he do? He wove them together. He created this patriotic, heroic story and fused it with some of the biggest philosophical ideas of his day, ideas that were buzzing around in the great mystery schools. All right, so let's start with that outer layer, the story everyone knows, the hero's journey of Aeneas. This is the public-facing part of the epic, the part that's all about duty, sacrifice, and building an empire from scratch. And the whole story really hinges on this one core Roman concept, pietas. Now, this doesn't just mean piety like we think of it. For a Roman, pietas was this all-consuming, selfless devotion to duty. Your duty to your family, to the gods, and, above all else, to the destiny of Rome. It meant you had to put the mission before your own happiness, before your own love, even before your own life. And boy, is Aeneas tested on this. I mean, constantly. He has to flee his home as Troy burns to the ground, literally carrying his past on his back. He finds real love with Queen Dido in Carthage, but the gods command him to abandon her to follow his destiny. It's an absolutely heartbreaking part of the story. He spends 7 years getting battered by storms and meddling gods at sea. Every single one of these trials is designed to strip away his own wants, to burn off his old identity, and to forge him into the perfect instrument of fate. It's all preparing him for his real test. Because all of that hardship, all that sacrifice, it's just the warm-up for what comes next. We're talking about Book 6. This is the philosophical heart of the entire poem. This is not just another leg of the journey. This is Aeneas' descent into the underworld, a classic full-blown initiation into the great mysteries of life, death, and the universe itself. His guide, the prophetess Sibyl, she makes it crystal clear just how serious this is. She tells him, look, getting into the underworld, that's the easy part. Anyone can die. But to go there while you're still alive, to learn its secrets, and then to come back, well, that's the real challenge. That's the mark of a true hero. This is pure initiation language. Down in the underworld, Aeneas finds the spirit of his father, Anchises, who basically becomes his spiritual guru. And the first thing he reveals is this massive idea, the anima mundi, or the world soul. The concept is that a single divine spirit, a sort of fiery consciousness, flows through and animates everything. The stars, the planet, you, me, all of it. We aren't separate things, we're all just expressions of one single living cosmos. So, the next logical question is, if we're all part of this universal energy, what happens to our little individual spark when we die? Well, Anchises explains the next great teaching, the transmigration of souls. In other words, reincarnation. This wasn't a new idea, it was central to traditions like Orphism, but Virgil brilliantly weaves it right into the DNA of Rome's destiny. And this cycle is the crucial piece of the puzzle. See, after you die, your soul isn't just judged and sent off somewhere. Nope. It starts this huge 1,000-year process of purification. It's cleansed by wind, water, and fire to wash away the stains of its last life. Only after that whole deep clean is it ready. It then drinks from the river Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, to wipe the slate clean, before it returns to a new body on Earth to do it all over again. And here it is. This is the master stroke. This is where Virgil ties it all together. As Aeneas is watching this process, his father points to the souls who are all lined up waiting to be reborn. And who does he see? A whole parade of Rome's future rock stars, its greatest heroes and leaders, and then right at the end of the line, boom, the soul of Augustus Caesar himself. The spiritual initiation is now locked into the political mission. Aeneas finally gets it. His duty isn't just for him. The fate of this entire cosmic cycle rests on his shoulders. So when you fuse a national founding myth with a deep, mystical journey like this, you create something incredibly powerful. A text whose influence has just echoed and echoed through Western civilization for more than 2,000 years. This structure, this blend of the public and the private journey, it became a foundational blueprint. I mean, think about it. Dante literally has Virgil himself act as his guide through the Inferno. The Renaissance was obsessed with it. And its core themes, this constant battle between your duty and your desire, the crushing weight of destiny, these became the bedrock for so many stories we still tell today. And at the very heart of it all is this mission statement that Aeneas gives to Aeneas. He basically says, look, other people are going to be better artists or scientists, but your art, Roman, your destiny is to govern, to bring peace, to spare the conquered, and to civilize the world. It's an imperial vision for sure, but it's one that's now wrapped in this profound moral and cosmic purpose that Aeneas has just seen with his own eyes. So, all this leaves us with a pretty big thought. Virgil gave Rome a story that was both its political birth certificate and its spiritual map. And it makes you wonder, what are the secret souls hiding inside our own foundational stories? What deeper philosophies or spiritual ideas are secretly shaping the myths that define our cultures and maybe even our own lives? This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.